guys, that's your commander today, Raid Shadow Legends. I am not alone. I am joined by Skratch AK-47. I love how I say Skratch AK-47. I give you the full intro, bro. We're not messing around here. How you doing, Skratch?
That's good.
Yeah, how you doing,
Yeah, doing
man?
Great, man. Thank you.
How's dad
life? What about
life?
you?
I'm just getting started.
How's dad life? I heard the little one is 4 months old today. Happy month day.
Thank you. Loving it. Loving it. Yeah, it's awesome. He's growing so quick, having tons of fun every day. And yeah, I'm loving it so far.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, dude. Glad to hear that. How are things going on your channel and stuff, man? How's life?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Just grinding it,
Are you enjoying the quick battles?
Yeah, quick battles are amazing. Like, I feel like it's one of the best things that happened to Raid. Similar with upgrade artifacts, to upgrade them super fast.
Instant upgrades,
They're the best of things,
Dude, I started playing another gacha game, right? I started playing it. By the way, we're going to do the top nukers in every rarity and every affinity. We've never done this before. It's going to be really fun. But quick, a little preamble here. Dude, I started playing another gacha game that I had to do a sponsored video for. I'll just say it. It was Watcher of the Realms. We both did videos on the game.
Yeah.
And they don't, the game was great. I had no problem with the game. I'm not just saying that either. This is not paid. But they don't have the instant artifact upgrade. And I'm like, oh my God.
Painful.
It felt like I was going back to the Stone Age, the Bronze Ages, dude,
Exactly. That's exactly how it felt.
Give me my fucking money back, you mother.
That's such a good addition. And the quick battle for clan boss, I do have a bit of a letdown with it because not everybody gets to enjoy it. And I feel like the majority of people, they see it as a bummer, and I definitely agree with it. And now we have the Hydra clash, which is going to be a bit of another bummer because they need to sort out quite a few things in that game mode.
Yeah, Hydra clash.
Decent,
Do you hate that too? Or how do you? I kind of got into it. I can't lie. I was like, okay, I tried to play it cool, oh, this is another stupid thing, and then I kept looking. I'm like, okay, where's my clan? How we doing over here? You know what I'm
exactly. The rewards are not great because you only get one accessory a week. So count how many weeks you have in a year, how many accessories you're getting, and how many factions you have, and you have 3 pieces for each faction. So it's gonna be a lifetime to get 2 decent accessories, basically. And the next thing is that
close your eyes. Now feel.
They are broken things with the multipliers and the way some teams work. I know people saw double Yumeko, Corpulent Cadaver, the Infinity Comp team that deals 7 billion damage on Nightmare Hydra, completely busted. And people thought that Skratch is not just about Corpulent Cadaver, it's about Yumekos. Well, guess what, guys? You can do almost the same thing with no Yumekos at all. No reset champion at all. So it's all about Corpulent Cadaver and multipliers and other champions working to be busted. So this is kind of like breaking a bit the game mode, in my opinion. So I'm sure they're going to change something to it, though.
I kind of hope they do. No one's done it. Knock on wood in my little content. Is your clan first place, I assume?
We're actually the top 5 clans in the game ranked in the same group. So we only use 12 keys. I haven't done actually nothing yet, but I think we are number 3 at the moment here.
Oh my God! I used all 3 of mine. I got a little happy with the whole thing.
Did you? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I haven't done it yet because I need to rebuild a few champions, so I'm gonna do it probably this weekend.
You know who I actually used in one of my clan boss teams is for the first time was Harima, dude. She is she's a Hydra beast. I knew she was awesome, but I didn't know she was Hydra awesome, I thought she was Arena awesome. Anyway, let's get to the video here. Sorry for the big long intro, but I got to catch up with my man Skratch. We're also going to do a collab on Skratch's channel after this one, probably be out before this video as well, because Skratch, you have a quick turnaround time. I always admired that about your content. So check that out, guys. Skratch AK-47 on YouTube. As I said earlier, Void Magic Force Spirit, Legendary, Epic, Rare. We're going to go through every affinity and talk about our favorite nukers, and we're going to play the stupid game where player comes to us, which they would never ever do, and say, hey, we love you guys. Our 2 favorite content creators are going to start a brand new account, and you can pick any champions you want in each of these rarities. So we're going to pick our favorite nukers. To be clear here, we're including every nuker, arena nuker, PvP, PvE, everywhere in the game. So for that reason, at least my choices, I'm going to err on the side of PvE because there's a lot more of that content than PvP. And the last thing is we kind of both made our list. Obviously, we agreed in a lot of areas, off camera, but we disagreed too. So we're going to point out where there was disagreements. You're the guest, Skratch. Go ahead and kick things off, man.
So if we...
Nuker.
Yeah. Void Nukers legendary.
Legendary.
Go with legendaries first,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's shiny. Even though we have a lot of them, amazing Void Nukers, I'm gonna have to go with the most powerful one at the moment, and that is Taras.
Okay.
Man.
Our first disagreement.
Our first disagreement, bring it on. Like, this champion,
I
guys,
will.
not only that he deals more damage than Seer, right? Because the more buffs he has, the more damage he deals. Pretty much the same sort of mechanic like Seer in a way or another. He increases the duration of buffs. He has decreased attack and drops tons of damage with the A12. Boosts the turn meter. Counter attacks when Marichka is getting pinched in his team, right? And he hits super hard. Then he has all those passives that reduce a lot of damage and do so many different crazy things, man, that is just nuts how powerful this champion is. Honestly, it's just crazy.
I agree. First of all, I don't have him, so I should. I don't want to pretend I'm talking about a champion that I don't have. And he would be, to your credit, for all the reasons you said, my second choice. But I still think that Acrizia, man, I mean, she's, again, it's all about, for me, it's all about PvE, where Taurus is still great, obviously, in PvE as well. But, I mean, just having an enemy max HP on every ability, I mean, I don't have to say much else after that, right? It's going to be a long video, so I would go with Acrizia. I do think it's a conversation, but, yeah, I was surprised that you went Taras over Acrizia, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you were surprised, yeah.
I love Acrizia for Hydra.
Basically, you're saying you hate Acrizia. Next!
Don't put me on the spot, man.
I'm not joking.
No, but since I discovered Corpulent Cadaver, like, Acrizia, she's nothing. Corpulent Cadaver deals 1+ billion damage on Hydra. Acrizia deals 100, 200 million in the exact same sort of a scenario. So I'm like, yeah, do we want Acrizia when we can have that OP rare champion? I'm just messing around. I love Acrizia to that. She's amazing. I'm using her in a lot of places, but I feel like Taras could potentially nuke harder. Like the A2, for example, has no 10% cap on bosses, you know, and that deals a lot of damage if you have a good build on him.
Hey, like I said, I don't have the dude. I only have to go against him every day, all day in the arena. That's my experience.
That's about it, you know. So, like you're just seeing how he smacks around, right?
Exactly. Hey, you guys, let us know this fierce debate over Taras versus Acrizia. Who would you rather have? I'm curious. I have no idea who they would pick.
I'm curious too. Actually, that's a good question right there.
Yeah. Okay. So next, I'll go next. I think it's to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. I do think it's here. You mentioned her earlier, Karma Burn, in terms of epic voids. I still think she takes the cake. I don't think that's really that close, even though there are actually a lot of good void epic nukers out there. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, just see her. She's so powerful. And not only for PvE, guys. Like, you can set her up for arena as well, you know, give her a bit of accuracy.
I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said that.
She's so solid. She's so solid, you know. Just make sure you have the full crit rate on her. Tons of buffs, put a Shamrock in your team, you know, and just go and wreck the opponents. You'll be surprised to see what she can actually do. It's just crazy, yeah.
I shared this story with my subscribers a week or two ago, but I know probably not everybody watches every video, so I'll say it again for you as well, right, Ben? Like, dude, I saw someone in live arena, bro, busted out a seer, and like I couldn't help but be like, ha ha ha, ha cute, and she destroyed me, dude. She just they must have had her with like 900 accuracy or something ridiculous, or maybe they had a lady. I don't know. They had increased accuracy on the team, but basically my 790 or whatever resist Siffy and everything just crumbled to the ground, dude. It was not good.
We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this place.
Charlie, sit your ass down.
Listen to your father.
Okay, sit down, breathe.
So now I have respect for her, and I actually kind of want to build another seer to use in the arena myself. Who we got for a rare, dude? Yeah.
For a rare, I mean, it's just one champion that stands out as a Void Rare champion, the most powerful one, and everybody's loving her is Coldheart. Like, you're gonna use that champion regardless where you are in the game, you know. Like, if it's morning, noon, evening, you're gonna use a Coldheart, basically. Let me just put it like that. She's just amazing, dude.
She is. It's crazy that a rare is one of the most essential champions in the game, but I definitely agree.
And for over 4 years since the game is out. If back in the day when the game was at the beginning, if you had a Coldheart, your clan boss team was sorted. That's how powerful she was before. And even now, she's super strong, you know. It's just nuts that she kept that value. I love it. We need more rares like this.
I agree, man. It's weird because like when you talk about rares and epics in this game, I personally feel like there's one rare and one epic that are just like, there's a lot of great rares and epics, don't get me wrong, but just like a little bit or a lot of bit better than anybody else. And I feel like that's Cold Heart and Geo, but then legendaries, I don't feel like there's an obvious, you know? But I guess it depends on what you need anyway at the end of the day. I digress. Let's go to Magic Affinity. Magic Affinity Legendary. I forgot if we agree or disagree on this one, man, but I still think it's Trunda, believe it or not.
Yeah.
She's great. I mean, she's amazing for Arena still, you know, like she's not S tier like she once was, but she's still great. And, I mean, Hydra, she's probably one of the better in the entire game with the Cloak of Ages. Yep. You see all, like, the high damage teams are using Trunda in, like, as many reset champions as possible. Even Naya is being used to reset that A2 Cloak of Ages, which can absolutely just get you 10 million damage at a time. It's nuts. So, Trunda.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's crazy, actually, to use Kaimar with her, because, you see, W Meko is busted in its own way because they can reset each other. Kaimar cannot get resetted by no one in there, so you need to kind of like play it around and kind of like do it. So Naya is actually a very good shout out right there.
Yep.
And I'm not in a disagreement here. I do feel like Rotos is amazing for the current meta and all this, but if you're kind of like putting Trunda, Rotos, it's so hard to pick from them. But then you just think of how many things Trunda can do while she deals the damage. So I have to stick with Trunda for this, actually. Yeah,
I'm the same. If we're talking just Arena, I would definitely agree. I would go Rotos, and it wouldn't really even be that close. You're up next, man. Epic.
Epics. So here we have my royal buddy, you know, the one and only royal guard, the Duke from the High Elves.
There he is.
Amazing champ. Takedown, great for a lot of content, lots of bosses, progression. Like, this is again one of the champions that aged better than the wine, basically, you know, because he's a vanilla champion, you know. He's here from the very beginning. You have the defense down, you have the decreased speed, decreased determinator with the multi hits, which makes him great. In Fire Knight, for example, stage 25 is super powerful. The Dark Fae, very powerful. Hydra, still very powerful, you know. So I feel like he is definitely bringing in a lot of utility, a lot of value, a lot of damage with that takedown as well, you know.
1000% in agreement. I don't even think it's close. I think there's a lot of good damage dealers again, and but so not to snub anybody else, but Royal Guard for all the reasons that you said. I agree. On rares, I mentioned a curveball at you.
Yeah, you did.
I just released this video, and you know, I think in the video I was like, dude, no one talks about this champion. Probably the worst looking, most miserable champion in the game. Like, even her face just says, "What am I now?" Says it all. But I think that Candleguard, she's a rare dwarf champion. She's my favorite nuker. Her multipliers are great. She got 2 AoE attacks. She's got weaken as well, the weak version, but she's bringing it on a 3-turn. And then she's got self buffs too. Increase crit rate, increase attack, and then attacks all enemies on the A3. I was surprised. She's a nice little DPS champion for rare magic. There's probably a few others in the conversation, but I really do like Candleguard, especially. I guess, you know, I would say Elhain is probably in the conversation too for me. But it really, you know, I feel like the starters are old. It's an old topic. No one cares about the starters.
I went for that. You know, I said, well, Kael is kind of like dealing a lot of damage, and you were like Candleguard, and I was like, who's that, Ash? I've never heard of Candleguard before, you know. Like, is it from Raid or is it from a different game, you know?
Like, that's why you're sad, man.
I don't know. In a vacuum, you know, Elhain or Kael or whatever might be be a little bit better, but I like Candleguard. All right.
Yeah, I like that she buffs herself, which is great. I know Aetel does too, but I feel like her damage multipliers compared to the other starters are a bit more underwhelming, so I'm not such a fan of her, you know.
Okay, I agree. Force Affinity, want to kick things off with we disagreed on every single one. Go from here on out, with exception of one.
Harima, baby, like, my god, what a beast. Because I know you mentioned her before in Hydra. Like, she's just so amazing. And not because of the passive that brings you the damage reduction, but her damage, man. And that A2 skill allowing her to stack the defense, decrease the defense on the target. This makes her great in clan boss. I know a lot of people didn't try her in clan boss, but she's throwing insane numbers in clan boss. And how you mentioned, in Hydra as well, insane numbers. Like, I'm using her in my team for hard actually because of the provoke. I do have the right accuracy for it, and she just brings so much damage for it as well. You know, I think she's so solid.
Well, you know what, dude? I thought we disagreed, and apparently we don't. Because I agree. Harima is my favorite. I don't know about you, like, in a vacuum, maybe you don't want to share this. If you don't want to share this, it's fine, man. Like, I totally respect that. But in a vacuum, who do you draft first in live PvP? Like, assuming you know nothing about the opponent, who you go with first?
Usually, if I'm the first one picking, Sifi.
Okay, I do too. Second picks, I'm
going Taras Harima, depending on what's being picked by the opponent. You know,
I'm the same exact way, dude. I go Sifi first. I don't have Taras, but I go with Yumeko Harima as my if I'm picking second.
I don't have Yumeko. You see,
okay, well there we go.
That's the thing. That's the thing right there.
I got to show this damage that she just put out for me. It was on. Okay, it was only on hard, but it doesn't really matter. It's just about the number here in terms of. Dude, 71 mil. Trunda, 95 mil. Again, like, obviously she's not out-damaging Trunda, but the fact that she was that close, I was shocked, man. I was like, whoa. Wasn't expecting that.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You want me to send you quick a screenshot? Like, check this out. So this is from my Hydra Clash. Let me just show you this quick. So this, if we're going right here, you're going to see quick the damage. So there we go. Then I'll show you the actual damage when you click on the champion, so you can see it, you know.
I'm going to pull this up without ruining my video, but while I do, the other guy that we thought about off camera was Nishak.
Yeah, Nishak. He actually has good multipliers. A lot of people are talking about him that he hits almost as hard as Tran, that they have very similar multipliers. I like Nishak. He's doing a pretty good job, but when we are talking about this sort of level of utility, like Harima versus him or Candraphone versus him, I just feel like you're getting a bit more value from even Candraphone, for example. Self-buff, the Veil, keeping him alive, smack super hard with the A1, so if a Yumi or a Warlord kind of like locks him, he can still put in serious work, you know. And it's the same with Harima. That passive brings so much utility to him.
Okay, so he just sent me a screenshot of the Corpulent Cadaver Brogni team, 4 billion damage. Is that correct on Corpulent?
Yeah.
Okay, no big deal. Next up, keeping it moving here, we have a disagreement here on the. This is one of those situations where I picked my dude, right? I picked my dude, and then you said your girl, and I was like, oh, maybe you're right. So why don't you go first?
So I'm the sim for this chick. She's a librarian. She loves reading a lot, but Alika is my number one epic force nuker, and she's one of the best epic nukers for Arena, in my opinion. So much damage, that A2 on a 2-turn cooldown with a 6.5 multiplier, with a 50% ignore defense, is just mind-blowing when you see the numbers cracking out of it. And then you have the A3, which deals a lot of damage too, but then if you have a bit of accuracy, is increasing the duration of all skills on the enemies, which is so freaking good. And the A1 with the chance to place the extra hit is great, you know.
I totally agree. I also love Alika, and frankly, as I said earlier, I think that you might have the right choice on this one, but I'll go with my original answer, which was Dirindil, a champion that I maxed out, and I was really impressed with his damage. I was really late to the game on this dude, but man, he's got an extra crit chance. He's got turn meter fill, ignoring defense, 3-turn cooldown, dispatch them, great multipliers, and then Royal Assassin, ignore 50% of defense. Again, a hard hitter. He's just got like really good multipliers essentially with ignore defense. You know, he's just like an all-out traditional nuker. That's about that. But I do like Alika because I like that control too, right? Like she's got the damage plus that great control.
100%, yeah. And Dirandil, the perfect veil on him is so great, man. Like you get to kill somebody and hide him after, you know, to go to the A2 is so good as well, yeah.
Absolutely. Who you got for rare, dude?
For rare here, we actually have, I think we have a bit of a disagreement here. I'm going with Ogryn Jailer, okay? And this champion is known to hit like crazy numbers. You know, I know it's kind of like single target hit and nothing too fancy. And if you ask me honestly, I'm not gonna lie, if you ask me if I use this champion or if I would use him anywhere, my answer will be no, okay? But just because he hits so hard, you know, I
can't doing a great job fighting for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not fighting for him. I'm just throwing it out.
You're a coward. There's nothing to hold on to.
You know what? It's a great call out because he is. I want to say he's the hardest hitting, I guess, aside from Corpulent, right, in the setup, the hardest hitting rare out there in the game. But the thing with me is maybe I'm just going with like the chalk answer here, but I do think that War Maiden is the best damage dealer out there, just because, I mean, this is kind of a weird thing to say, but like, first of all, she's bringing the big version of increased attack, which is, it can't be overstated. Like, it's a really, really good ability to have in her kit on 3-turn cooldown. The one thing is, though, is whenever I run her, she just, on the rare only secret rooms, she still, like, hangs. I don't even have her built, like, with crit damage on the gauntlets, but she hangs with everybody else in terms of damage dealt. So not only is she debuffing, like, still the only rare with 100% decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown, but also just dealing a lot of damage, man. So, I mean, as simple as that. The numbers are always there for me in War Maiden. She's probably the opposite of Ogre Jailer, right? Meaning that, like, her multipliers in a vacuum are not there like his is, but then the end result, I think it's just more utility overall, you know?
Can you just admit that you like her outfit, Ash, please?
I love the outfit. Love it. I love what she's done with that fashion. Not as much as Sylar's.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Let's do Spirit. I think I am up, right? I think, yeah. Here's another disagreement here, and this is
we're gonna have one, yeah. We're gonna
have one here. This is it's close, so I love who your choice is, but my choice is Yannicka. When we're talking nukers here, I guess my argument, I'm gonna play semantics with you, bro. We're talking nukers, and I think that Yannicka is the quintessential nuker. She's got an AoE on the A2, an AoE on the A3, an extra turn mechanic allows, an extra turn on the A2, a potential AoE on the A1, and a great hard-hitting AoE on the A3. With the extra turn mechanic, it allows her to really outdamage almost any other champion out there, with the exceptions of like the special ability Seers or the Eleanor rules. By the way, Eleanor rules, Sissia, Artak, those champions, they're damage dealers, but we don't consider them, like for this video, we don't consider them like all-out traditional nukers anyway. Probably semantic again there, but just so you guys in the comments can calm down there. Geomancer, I'm not including as a nuker, even though he does a lot of damage. That's it, bro. Like, Yannicka, 2 times on an AoE on the A1. Multipliers are sick. She's just insanely in damage dealers. Insane damage dealer. Go ahead.
So, look, I feel like I feel like we effed up here and we missed one champion, but if I'm gonna bring him in as well as a surprise.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
Yeah. So we have Ragash, right? Which was kind of like the disagreement. He's super powerful. Like, I'm getting clapped in arena every single day by him. I don't have him, and maybe that's what makes me feel like he's so good. But he is good. Like, he buffs himself. He stuns. He helps the team. Tons of damage. Super awesome champion. And the one that we effed up and missed it is Nut. The newest fusion to call it like this.
I'm so glad you caught that, bro. Imagine the comments. Imagine the comments, bro. It's funny because even though we both know that his name is Newt and we both suck at mispronouncing names.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody gets mad at me when I call him Newt, man. They're like, Nut, just call him Nut. They want me to call him the wrong name.
I used to call him Nut, G-Unit, all sorts of different names. You know,
I like G-Unit.
it vibes good.
G-N-U-T.
You are right. I love Yannicka and we love Ragash, but Nut is the answer.
Absolutely. What a game changer. Like, just... This is the pure example of one champion can completely change everything that you knew about the game, right? Like, you took him in the Fire Knight, he's the GOAT. You took him in any other dungeon, he's the GOAT. You took him in Clan Boss, you took him in Hydra. Like, my God, it's just so much firepower from this champion. Absolutely amazing. Love what Palladium did with this fusion champion.
I 100% agree. Thank you for that save, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, we got a couple honorable mentions in there anyway. What do you think of, I haven't maxed him out yet, but I just pulled Jag Bonesaw. Didn't you do a dev build video on him? What do you, does he enter into the conversation at all? Or is it kind of, oh, cute, you got some damage, but you're not S tier? I haven't maxed him
I feel like it's decent to play him around. In terms of damage, I wouldn't put him over Yannicka, for example. I wouldn't put him over Cleopteryx, you know.
That really makes me sad. Thank you. By the way, shout out to Clara Tyrix because she's also in the conversation. Next up, you got it, man.
Epic, I feel like there's no competition here. We have Magna, right? Such a great champion, and I feel like he's aging pretty well too. The only problem that we kind of like have is that Epics don't get empowered. Plarian, please do something about it, you know. But it's so good that he's not affected by decreased attack, by decreased defense. Yes, true, you cannot really buff HP just by using a lead, you know, like a HP aura to get more damage. But I feel like it's having a very solid damage with that A2. The A3 is very helpful in terms of DPS. The A1 with a cheeky defense down there. Great for faction wars, great for PvP as well. Great for a wave damage if you need him somewhere. I feel like he's definitely a good champion.
100% agree. All right, and then that leaves us at the Spirit. I thought of somebody who we slept on too because I think we had agreed, right? Well,
yeah, we agreed on one here. Let's see, what do you have?
Let me give the one that we didn't pick first and see if you change your mind, right? And it's Marquez. So I think she's in the conversation, but I'd still go with the other one that we agreed on. But I think that just pure arena damage, I think that Crush the Weak is the best by far in terms of rare damage.
So strong, strong, yeah.
Okay, but who we then agreed with now that we both have
Soul
not chosen
Bonfire.
Soulbound, yeah, dude.
Yeah, such a good champion. Like, she brings so much stuff, not just damage, right? Because she brings the thermometer manipulation, the AoE on the A1, chuck a stun set on her. You might not get the best damage out of her in a stun set, but so much utility. Secret rooms in the Doom Tower, faction wars, waves in progression, you know, like tons and tons of good stuff coming out of her kit, you know?
Dude, it's insane. I mean, she's one of the best control, but she has that extra 25% crit on every ability. So easy to get that crit damage up with that ability. And then the 75% ignore defense on the A2. It's funny because it's a weird one. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just her scalability on her attack Skratch, but like if you bring Infuse Arrow into the arena, unless you're attacking like a squishy Force Affinity champion, at least me, I haven't been able to see massive numbers out of this ability.
Same, yeah.
But
I agree.
But if you go into like a Doom Tower secret room, like right now, like in all the rare only secret rooms, and you use the Infuse Arrow, dude, I was popping off at like 150k on this ability, like one-shotting some of these enemies. I was like, wow, okay. And then having, to your point, the 100% turn meter depletion. Boy, what a great champ. So she's our choice. That's going to be that, man. Those are all. I feel like we had a great conversation, and we got through the video in less than a half an hour. Unbelievable, man.
We ticked all the boxes.
We did. Now let's go to your channel, record something fun, and we'll see you guys hopefully over there. Skratch, thanks for joining me again, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Guys, thank you for watching until the end of the video. I appreciate you all. Thank you, and as always, take care, guys.